My name is Brandon Biller. I'm at RADwood in Detroit right now, and I've got my 1984 Datsun Nissan 300ZX. So I bought this car for $1,000 like a little over 9 years ago or so off Craigslist as to be like a kind of a more fun daily than my camera was at the time. And then as I started tearing into it, fixing it up, I kept finding new ways to customize it. And I worked at Eaton at the time on Supercharger products, and we had this test unit that was getting thrown away because it was done with being tested as a pre-production unit. So I saved it from the dumpster. I welded together a custom intake manifold to be able to adapt it to a Nissan VG33. So it's the 3.3 liter version of the engine that originally came in the car. The engine that was originally in the car was just honestly too far gone to be worth saving. So this one I got out of a wrecked Pathfinder, and then tore the engine completely down and rebuilt it. Like I said, modified the intake to put the supercharger on, made my own adapter for running ATI damper to a big crank pulley for the blower and having tensioners. I made my own adapters to run a newer model R134A AC compressor and a bigger alternator, electric fans. It's got electric power steering, but like electro-hydraulic. That's out of a Mini Cooper. So that's actually mounted like up here in the wheel well, so that way it's out of the way of the engine bay. It's running LS coils, so no more distributor. So I made a block-off plate for that, and it's using a MS3-Pro MegaSquirt based injection system, so to do full sequential and coil per plug. And then the inside of the car has the digital dash and digital climate control, and I have custom gauges in the center that are CAN enabled to be able to show me data from the ECU in real time. And I designed those with the screen so that way they look like the same kind of green, glowing, like 80s look. There's really nothing on this car I haven't touched, because it turned out that the original car that I bought had been in an accident and was actually two cars welded together at a seam right here. So when I started to get more serious with this, I started looking at other shells, and I found a car that was originally from South Carolina that was clean and hadn't been in a major wreck. And then slowly transitioned everything from my original car into that. So this is now the body of that. But it's so like none of it's like really the original, but kind of it still is, you know. Certain parts of the seats maybe. My wife helped me reupholster the seats and redo the interior to make that like nice and everything too. So, but yeah, the original car was an inch shorter on one side than the other. I found out the first time I went to go get in the line, the guy's like, I can do my best, but it's never gonna be right. And so doing the whole body swap, I stripped that down to all the original paint off and then had it repainted. I did not do the paint myself because I'm not good at painting, but it's just kind of a 10-foot paint job. I'm not trying to be fancy with it, but yeah, one of my coworkers had me walking by, and he had some Z32 calipers from his Z32 project that he had back in the day, and then just saw me working in the garage and offered to give them to me. So that was pretty sweet. And then he actually works at General Motors with me now, so shout out to him. Sandblasted those down, powder coated, and put that on, so upgraded the brakes. So just a lot of other pieces from other cars and junkyard parts and things like that over time. Most recently, I drove it out to West Michigan, where I got married 2 weeks ago. We actually, my wife took her Subaru Outback, we loaded that down, and then all the other stuff we needed for the wedding in here. We had like kind of a barn wedding. And so I drove about 3 hours out there, made the trip really well, and then we're planning to go on a road trip this fall out to Virginia to see some friends. So I'll take it there, and I just drive it like in the summer, you know, fun days and stuff like that, and then some road trips. But it runs really well. Like I'm very anal about the tuning. I did virtual calibration work at General Motors in my one recent role, so like most of my work has always been engine related and like, you know, not tuning, but still related to modeling them. So like trying to make it start every time, no matter what the conditions, run smooth is kind of an obsession. So like, I really pride myself in being able to turn the AC on and the engine just doesn't really even react, you know, like that kind of thing. So I want to be able to just turn the key and drive whenever I feel like it.